There's no way this thing could get any worse or be any more lore-breaking, can it?
Hey, hold my beer.
Welcome everyone to Was It Good? My name is Bob, and tonight we're going to be talking episode 5 of The Acolyte. Now, this is going to be the one that's going to fix everything. Okay, apparently not. Now, before I get into the review, I want to go ahead and let you know there are going to be some spoilers for this. So if you haven't seen the episode and you don't want to know anything about it, go ahead and go check it out first and then come back and watch this video. Now, if you don't care about spoilers or if you've already seen it, I'd like to know what you think. Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know what you think about it so far. Did you like the episode? What do you think of the series overall? I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the review. Picking up where we left off, in a dense jungle, the Jedi are put to the test when they confront a rising darkness. Now, after a couple of weeks of pretty bad lore breaking, I was wondering where this show was going to go. Was it going to continue to fall off a cliff? Or would it right the ship and finally give us some decent Star Wars? Now, there were a couple of things that I did like in this episode. Some of the lightsaber choreography between the Jedi and the Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
That's right, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I did think that the choreography between Master Soul and the Sith looked decent, as well as the between Jecki and the Sith. I thought that one looked fine as well. And you could tell that Daphne Keane put in the work to learn the choreography, so I do got to give her some credit there. And also, I did like the fact that they killed off some main characters, because that caught me a little bit off guard. Like, that they killed off Yord and Jecki. I was expecting several main characters to die, but just not this early in the show, so I got to give them some credit for that. And the way it looks like they're going to stay dead and that lightsabers actually can kill you, so I got to give them some credit for that. But otherwise, there wasn't really anything else that I liked. Now, when we get to the second half of the episode, this is where we get several revelations of stupidity. First off, we find out who the villain is.
I need friends.
That's right, Discount Ezra Miller is in fact the villain, and I wish I could say that was the stupidest part, but instead it gets worse because he himself reveals to the Jedi that he is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
Now, I know what many Star Wars fans are thinking. This couldn't possibly be a Sith Lord. After all, we learned in The Phantom Menace
The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
So I guess we're just going to throw Star Wars lore out the window. It doesn't really matter that we know that the Sith are around. Now, if all the Jedi had died, then it wouldn't be such a big deal. But they didn't. Master Soul survives, and I'll get to that in a moment. And he actually makes it back to his ship. Now, as a good Jedi, he would probably inform the Council and say, hey, you know what? The Sith are around. I found May's master. But instead, we know that in The Phantom Menace, Master Ki-Adi-Mundi, who's in this show and shouldn't be in the show because he's not even supposed to be alive, but he's in this show, he turns around in The Phantom Menace and says that the Sith have been extinct for a millennium. So unless he's lying, which doesn't make any sense, this is a lore-breaking event that ruins a lot of what has been established in Star Wars, and it continues the trend that this show is on of breaking established Star Wars lore. I just don't understand why they continue to do this. Now we're going to get into the dumbest part, and that is what happens to the Sith. So the Sith and Soul, they're going at it, and the Sith and Jecki are going at it. And so Osha and Yord are trying to get away as Yord is trying to take Osha back to the ship. And what ends up happening is that Osha ends up hearing the voice of May. And they get to the part of the Force where all of those bugs were that were attracted to light, and Osha gets this idea, and so she uses the light to turn around and attract the bugs to her, and they run back to the fight. Yord ends up dying when they get back to the fight, and this is the part where Osha becomes the hero. So instead of finishing the fight between Soul and the Sith, you actually see Osha take the little droid, she runs up, puts it on the back of the Sith, and all the little creatures come flying up and then turn around and carry the Sith away.
That was really stupid.
It absolutely was. I have no idea why they ended the fight that way. I guess it shouldn't surprise me that they did, but that was a really stupid way to end it. Now, this is the part where May actually uses the stun gun and she stuns Soul, and the two sisters go off and we're treated to another bad acting moment by the lead actress. And during this whole sequence with badly written dialogue, May is able to knock out Osha, and this is where she decides to have a parent trap moment.
I think we should switch places.
So while Osha is knocked out, May goes ahead and gives herself a haircut, and then she turns around and switches clothes with Osha, and she goes over with Master Soul, who can't sense that it's not Osha through the Force. He's not able to do this. In fact, the only one who knows that this isn't Osha is that lousy tracker, who apparently is part canine.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Then you see the Sith go over to Osha and heals one of the wounds on her, and then that's how the episode ends. There's just so much stupidity in this episode. I could just go on forever. This is a pretty obvious answer, but was it good? Absolutely not. This is another terrible episode in what is a terrible show. Now, there was actually some pieces here that this one could have actually been kind of good had they done it right. But instead, there was more bad acting, more bad dialogue, and there was a lot of lore breaking that actually messes up established ideas in Star Wars. And because it went that direction, this is another bad episode. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.